We'll see how it goes. It is a round of 1 to 8. We were about to cast another game, but they'd already started. As soon as we'd said, yeah, we'll cast that. Oh, they're already started. They didn't hang around. I was impressed how quick they got into lobby. I mean, gamers don't normally do that quick, but they must have been ready to go. Hopefully we'll be able to jump into the following match. We'll find out how this one goes. So let's talk about, obviously, Dorado. You guys that joined us all last week, you would have seen this quite a lot. And anyone that's played any part of Overwatch will be aware that Symmetra is definitely viable for the opening setup. You can see Symmetra obviously setting up the turrets. Some very interesting turret spots there. Not your average ones, expecting maybe a flank around the right. But that's going to be Hayes, going to be on Symmetra. We're going to have Alex on Roadhog. Sil will be on Soldier 76. Benny's going to be on the Reinhardt up on the top there. Claws will be on Mercy. And Kisa will be on Reaper. Over on the attacking side, it'll be, I don't know how I'm going to say this one, FNIF. FNIF on Farah. Genji will be Nidras. And Roadhog's going to be on Jovel. On the other side, Sheena will be on Mercy. We're going to have a Lucio in there to get things speeded up from Kia and Fimpy. These names are going to test us, Jason, for Copenhagen Flames.
But yeah, so we already do have some teams already qualified from Europe, but so far, with Copenhagen Flames on the actual payload, they're actually pushing up relatively well. You can see we're running that Pharah, the Genji, and the Roadhog, and a Winston together. So more of an interesting kind of composition for them. It's one of the first times in a long time since I've actually casted some one hero limit. But Copenhagen Flames have not been halted so far. Even a charge coming through doesn't really connect too well. And Toomuchvideogames have finally been able to pick up the first couple kills.
They are keeping that payload moving though, but as you mentioned, with those kills going in, that will slow things down. Everybody has to back away, get their defenses set up. So, 2 went down. Didn't really keep our eyes on the Nidras, on the Genji here. We'll see how it works out. Is a good hero for this setup. We'll be able to counter a fair amount, but they don't have any Torbjorns, Bastions, etc. in there. We'll see whether he's able to get around the back and maybe pick off Claws, because that's going to be his primary target. But as we saw at the start, Symmetra turrets are going to be set up around the sides.
Job already pick up a quick kill on the Haze, which does prevent, well, the teleporter's already down, so it's not like he's going to prevent the teleporter from coming down, but at least does eliminate some people, and Nader's going to be rushing straight through, picks up 2 quick kills, picks up a third on his Sil as well. The revive going to be coming in out of Claws, though, and now it's Toomuchvideogames to try to hold.
Well, see how it works out for them. Still, the Resurrect came through, which was enough to get them back in there, but as you can see, still in the kill feed, very much red. Benny does manage to find himself one around the side. Still on Soldier 76, trying to keep them at bay, but Jovel will put pay to him, and there is the first point being met. Good work from Nidras there around the back.
Yeah, you just got his Dragon Blade up, and that's what Genji's going to do well. Gotta wait for the ultimate, and then you're going to be able to slice and dice your entire way through that enemy team. Not too much Videogames, not going for too much of a switch so far. Hayes still playing, I was going to say, still playing Symmetra. We'll switch over to the Lucio, though. I realize that the teleporter is not going to be too effective here anymore. And Toomuchvideogames hasn't really been able to get this high ground position just yet behind Benny on the Reinhardt. They're finally able to get up there now. But Copenhagen Flames, most in particular, Nidras, gets dropped as he was trying to harass and keep them away.
Yeah, it's often if they're trying to use that concussive blast to knock them off. Didn't manage to work out too well. The Reinhardt trying to push up that shield. Close to breaking. Will force them away a little bit, though, as they lost a fair amount. Let's have a look across to Nidras. Obviously was the man that got things working for them on the Genji. Going to try and hop up around. He can't go flat out. You cannot attack this point blank. This is pretty ballsy what he's doing here. He'll be surprised if he survives. Does manage to get around the back of the Reinhardt though. Now he's got his Dragon Blade available. Let's see if he can find a position to use it. He's just going to use it anyway. He goes straight in there. Benny goes down, manages to find the Farah in the air. Does get the Mercy, but just before the Resurrect came through there. And that's going to keep the payload moving. And Maywell just had the job done there. That's going to be a quick barrage coming out, but the payload is continuing on its way.
Yeah, Benny's still alive. They're trying to do some work here on the Reinhardt towards the back, but he's eventually going to be dealt with. As you see him on the payload just trying to stall for some time, and it looked like Copenhagen Flames actually forced Toomuchvideogames to engage on them. Nidras, he was just kind of baiting them in like, come on, come get me. And Benny, he took the bait, went too deep. He tried to charge back to his team to group up because they need that Reinhardt shield to sit behind. But it was just too late. It didn't matter, and Copenhagen Flames do pick up that next point. So on a pretty decent time so far, to be fair, but they had to close out the game to at least make it, or to at least force it into a stopwatch. Otherwise, it'll be distance.
Yeah, indeed. We'll see where they get around this corner. Of course, Kisa switching across to McCree. The whole hog ready and waiting to go, as is Barrage. This is a great place to use it. Oh, that hook. You absolutely know he was setting up to use that Barrage there. They were in a perfect prime position, but the hook from the Roadhog forced him away. Soldier 76 pops his ultimate around the side there. Tactical Visor working away on the Roadhog. Not an ideal target, but still a kill's a kill no matter where you aim it. And he will punish to pop himself up. You can hear the pings coming off there as he manages to work the headshots on Kaya as well on the Lucio. There's going to be Barrage coming out from FNIF. Doesn't really get a great deal from it. Just taking down Benny from the background, but it does mean the payload continues its way around this sharp corner. The real big choke point here. And the high ground so far not held by Toomuchvideogames. This is going to be a problem for them. I feel this might be the end.
So he's got the tactical visor, so he's looking to pick up Finth, which he'll eventually be able to do, but it's just pretty much only him going down. Finally, Benny's able to chime in, but they left the payload on its own, and Copenhagen Flames are going to finish this one in an extremely quick time. We'll find out what it is once the round does end, but already being told it's about 4 minutes and 43 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, it comes down to Toomuchvideogames on the attack. Can they compete with that time? If once 4:43 passes, you guys are new to stopwatch, then it's over.
Yeah, that was a fast time at Dorado, 4:43. That's quick. Once they got through that initial, there was a slight delay at the start. Once they got past that, wasn't really much holding them back, was it? Didn't get snarled up at the church, and ordinarily you'd expect them to be delayed a little in that final point, but, well, it seems that they managed to just push on through. Taking down the Reinhardt got them going. So, stopwatch ready and waiting to go as we get things underway here. Let's see if any changes. We did just have a last minute change there. Okay, so Zaya switching out for Alex. We'll see how it works out for him. Claw's going to be sticking obviously on the Mercy, so we're going to use a Zaya on attack this time around. Obviously we didn't have it in the previous setup. Might as well start that going for a moment, because it'll turn itself off. It'll turn itself off within 40 seconds, a guarantee. So we're working our stopwatch. Phone usage. It's the prime way of doing things. Anyway, let's have a look at the defensive setup here for Copenhagen Flames. Posting a fast time. All they really need to do is slow them down, hold them up. Jovel's going to be the Reinhardt this time around. Nidres, who just played the Genji a moment ago, will be on Soldier 76. Sheena once again on the Mercy. Fimfy will be on a Winston this time, so going to be maybe looking to attack their back lines and try and get that Mercy down. Lucio for Kaya, and FNIF will be on Farah.
Right, 3 seconds to go before we kick this one off. Remember, Toomuchvideogames have a timer on the scoreboard now for them to beat 4:43 as they're looking to move this one extremely quickly. They don't really have a lot of time to work with, and that allows Copenhagen Flames on the defense here to actually work with that and potentially put up some decent stall tactics.
Well, they got a good glimpse of where they were, didn't really do a great deal of damage. Tried with Concussive Blast to try and knock a couple off, try and disrupt them, but it didn't work out for them. Let's have a look on the other side on the defending of FNIF here for Copenhagen Flames, continuing to pummel those rockets through. The Winston Shield's being used as a defensive mechanism there, just to hold back any of the shots coming through. Now I can see someone up on high there. It is Kissa hovering around. He's got Mercy boosted as well. Trying to get that damage down, but still no first blood.
Not at all. You can see Copenhagen Flames more than happy to just sit extremely defensive here, force Toomuchvideogames to be the ones to go through. The payload's actually not being moved because they're trying to rush in as a full team, pick up some key targets. Somehow Mercy's not being targeted by Kissa. Kissa, go for the Mercy practically first if you need to. Though Soldier is not a bad opportunity for him, but the entire team has been wiped out. Their focus wasn't there.
Yeah.
And Copenhagen Flames are going to hold on the first point for now.
That was a little too easy for them there. As you mentioned, don't understand why he wasn't focusing onto Sheena. Sheena didn't even need to use a Resurrect either. And that is going to be the Winston picked off there in the backside. So, successful hold. Now remember, they're looking to post a fast time here. They are already 1 minute 30 into the round. They cannot afford to be snarled up here any longer.
No, I 100% agreed. If they get stopped here, think how bad the church phase is going to go. Kissa switching over from the Pharah now to the Widowmaker. Looking for some connections. The problem is
it's a shield.
Jobbles, yeah, exactly. Jobbles playing the Reinhardt's got the shield to block any sort of attack. So he's going to have to come in from a different angle. And he's still looking for the shots, looking for that Mercer, even that Pharah, but he's just missing the shots on a non-moving Pharah. Misses a shot, allows him to help pick up another kill, and Copenhagen Flames, I think, have held again.
Yes, they have. 2 minutes and counting. Still, tactical visor ready and waiting to go. They is there's no real combos, no real setups. You know, you've got this Graviton Surge building up, but the fact that Kiss has switched away from the Pharah means there's going to be no barrage to back it up. So what is going to follow this barrage? Nothing really.
It's Benny, the whole hog,
yeah.
if he has it up, which he should. I mean, he's Roadhog, it's relatively quick to get it online. But now Alexar is already able to get his Graviton Surge, and now we're 2.5 minutes in. They don't have any time to work. They're just going to come in and actually get the charge onto him as well. The Sound Barrier keeps him alive for a little bit longer, not to mention the shield and the Mercy coming in, but the fact that they're not picking up any kills and they're forced towards their own spawn during this fight kind of tells the tale of what's happening.
He's got the full beam though, 100% on that beam at the start. He's got to actually catch it onto Fimpy now. Can they get this moving? Giza does manage to take Fimpy down there. That was the big 8 that went wild, but unfortunately that payload is still not going anywhere. They're still not dealt with the rest of the team. Graviton Surge being held. You can see the whole hog is ready to go, but there's no situation, no opportunity to use it. They pulled it in. That's a poor one. Only caught the single Lucio. Poor ulti. Is it going to be enough, though, to keep the payload moving? It will get around the corner.
Yeah, Finif, though, is going to be onto the side with the Fair to do some decent damage. The payload's still being held. We're now 3.5 minutes into this round, which basically solidifies who's going to be winning this first map. I don't think there's any way in a minute of time, 10 of time, you can actually finish the game unhindered. So I believe, well, they don't even have an opportunity at this rate because they've actually held the payload yet again. Yeah. It's not actually captured even the first point with only 19 seconds left to go.
Yeah, this is going to be all she wrote in map 1 on Dorado, I feel, for Toomuchvideogames. That's what we have in the office. Too much video games.
Can never have too much video games.
I know, right? Every time I think I've just about done, I find another game I like. Just think.
Send it back to lobby
on at the moment, but, well, games, Jason.
We want to see them play the game.
They've had too much video games. They want to keep playing them. So it's going to be TMVG, their choice, in the lobby.
Yep, they still got Watchpoint Gibraltar, Kings Row, Volskaya, Lijiang Tower, and Numbani
choice
to choose from. That's our 6 map pool coming into this week. Round of 128, we'll start with Dorado as we're seeing. And Kings Row will come up in the round of 64. Watchpoint Gibraltar in the round of 32. And Numbani will be the round of 16 matches, which we will end here today.